Who is Alex and why you should care about him at all? He's a fine example of how unhinged some people are on the internet. And this example is followed by a 82-page Google document cataloging all his crazy outbursts. And just from this, you know this is gonna be a crazy rabbit hole. This can basically be considered as a tutorial video on how to spot a toxic relationship. Alex would also refer to women as dogs, throwing the N slur like you say good day. I mean, some people do not have any dignity or respect for other human beings whatsoever. He is usually known for calling out people for various things, which is why this story is even more interesting. He almost destroyed the career of a former friend due to falsely accusing him of being a creep. And this is not an isolated incident. The document we have on our hands will dive into somewhat adult topics with his girlfriend. But how unhinged is he really is something I would like you to show in this video. To understand what he became and how his career ended, we need to take a look at his rise to fame. At least I think it will end, but let's see what the future brings. I'm Snorky and join me today as we dive into the unhinged story of ImAllexx.
Maybe I don't have any empathy for human beings. Maybe I'm sick. I'm gonna bash your head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the up.
Sorry, it's like a really hard video to do.
But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a good dog, I get in trouble. Then I'm getting like an entire quartet band playing, and we're gonna make the greatest apology rock song you've ever seen.
ImAllexx is a British YouTuber who rose to prominence through his commentary videos on trending topics. Mostly his videos are highly clickbaity videos, which caused a lot of drama along the way. Everybody who knows him knows that this is quite a vague description, but that's why this video will dive into the dramas he caused.
Damn.
Like, whoa. Man, that really hit me hard.
In the feels.
You know this?
Alex started doing YouTube in 2013, and he used to make gaming videos like playing FIFA. In 2016 he started to do commentary videos, mostly on other people and YouTubers.
Broken today because I was put in a category as a commentary channel where somebody talks about trending topics as untalented by the one and only Killer Keemstar. Now we all know how much effort it takes to run a channel like Drama Alert, where you're constantly making huge mistakes or very important stories which change the way people think. But hey, it's none of my business, is it, Dan? None of my business. I think in this podcast...
But later he would also react to various shows that would pop up on the TV.
Clips from, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's like married couples. They all kind of like...
They get married?
At first sight.
Oh, I understand it now.
I think that's how it works. I guess we'll find out. They all kind of like fight each other in front of each other.
So first fight.
Oh, that would be a very unethical TV show. Let's see what it's actually about.
ImAllexx!
Morty, I turned myself into a pickle, Morty.
It's no wonder that he would also start to react to different TikTok videos with his friends.
Oh man, TikTok's incredible. It's so good, I love it, man. Why do people do these fake crime videos? Because they're meant to be taken seriously, but I just find them funny.
Maybe I'm emotionally broken. Maybe I don't have any empathy for human beings. Maybe I'm sick.
And he even tried to have a rap career, calling himself Lil Revenue, and one of his songs is called 10 Minute. A 10-minute song which is about how YouTube monetization works.
Nice. 2 mid-rows, yeah, that shit is nice.
And he released one more cult classic song called Google Maps. I guess everybody who is popular needs to at least try to have a singer career. Also, apparently the guy survives only on chicken nuggets.
I can only eat chicken nuggets. That's the only thing I can eat. Really? I don't know why. Everything else, instantly,
I quite hate processed food because I got stomach pain from them, and I would rather bite the dust than try to survive on chicken nuggets. He revealed that, and also that he has some eating disorder on the Happy Hour podcast. he would say in that podcast that he just woke up one morning and suddenly, inexplainable, felt revolted by the idea of eating and would physically at trying to eat anything else than chicken nuggets. And after this podcast he never mentioned this again, if he really has a eating disorder.
Would have been after the FIFA stream we kind of ended.
Yeah.
And it was like a couple months went by. I just got back in from school one day, sat down, and just started crying. Did it for 6 hours straight. No idea what was going on. I was not sure. I was like, it must be that.
Another thing that I found out that he was SA when he was 20. I don't know much about this as I couldn't find any information. Perhaps this is one of the causes to all his crazy outbursts, but that's a hard thing to tell. And also a thing I don't wanna get into.
The N-word is a funny moment. I done said Nick.
He gained popularity very fast, especially in December of 2016 and January 2017, when he gained 65,000 subscribers in only 2 months. He also has a second channel, which can be considered everything less than his original channel. Well, it's mostly bare bones compared to the first channel, and also many people would consider this channel way less researched.
Oh, George, that's disgraceful, and I look like this. That is grim. What is wrong with you?
But also a huge help he received that year was that he was shut out by Pyrocynical.
Have you guys heard of the commentary community? They're great. 10-minute videos. Hello everyone, I'm Alex.
Also, he tried in his early years to leech as much as he could from bigger names in the community as a way to get attention. And Alex would pay attention with whom he interacted with, so he doesn't end up in necessary drama or being accused of something.
Now, when it's too late, you admit that you did everything fucking wrong. But when it actually matters, when you should lay down like a fucking dog, you don't do it, you fight for some reason. I don't know why you fight, because you lose.
But in the last few years, his channel growth will slowly stagnate. Some say because of the uninspired content he released, but we could also say he was somewhat well regarded in the commentary community. Now, his life cycle on YouTube was also followed by an alarming number of controversies, which we are going to address now.
And by the way, audience, if you haven't seen, there is so much more. There's like video after video after video. He's called his girlfriend a dog. He's threatening people. At one point, he called his girlfriend the N-word.
That's what I was about to say. He's like
2017 marks a geopolitical war between the nice people of England who teamed up with Americans to attack the Canadians. Alex would, along with some American YouTubers, criticize a Canadian commentary YouTuber called Zaptie of being a PDF and a psycho.
Financially.
Yeah, and I spoke to him about it because I have told him in a call. I do want this to also be aware. I've messaged him saying that we're doing this, but I did tell him the last time I spoke to Ed, I sent him a call. He told me he was a sociopath. The next day later, we had a 6-hour call where nothing was different. We were just best mates. I then realised that was wrong and that we couldn't do that. I called him up the next day. He was about to watch a film, and I said, Ed, we've got to talk about this. How is this going to affect Aaron and Jimmy? How is it going to affect the Hot Mess Soup lads? I said to him. And he was like, I just didn't think it would be a problem, me being a sociopath, was his response. And then I said to him, you got to understand that, like, we're not going to want to do the podcast with you after this. You have to be aware. And he's like, well, do they know? And I was like, I'm sure they know at this point. I didn't really want to say that I told them because he was still my best friend.
In February of 2017, Alex and the other would basically talk about how Zaptie cheated on his girlfriend and would SA his followers where he could. Alex basically orchestrated all of this, as far as my knowledge goes, just to get views and attention.
Did publicly tweet that Ed had cheated on her and she was done and she regretted it, and honestly, like, she just needs your support more than anybody, more than us, really. Because what happened with her is the worst, and that is the main reason I take this super seriously.
He would also explain how he got this info directly from Zaptie, but it was actually later discovered that Zaptie was talking about how he has some type of social anxiety, which is not quite same as being a psycho. And the accusations Alex made about SAing his followers were not completely true.
A few months has been going through, well, really for the last year, a lot of shit.
a lot of issues, and you know, I was there for him. It's one of the reasons why I became best friends, because I knew about stuff that was going on in his life when he didn't know that I knew, and I hinted at it, and that's how we became good friends. I wanted to help him, and it's kind of sad, but I feel like this is one of the best ways to help him in a really weird way, because this is...
But he was talking to a minor at the time, which is quite alarming, but I wanna play you a video from Turkey Tom who perfectly explained the situation, as he was allowed to get into a S relationship with her, because at the time the age of consent in Washington was 16. Now if you're looking at this situation from a moral standpoint, well, that's a quite different situation in my opinion.
During some recent investigation into the case, Heather was actually reached out to about this, and she was willing to respond and comment on the situation. So here we have her admitting that she lied about her age, and that she was not 13 years old. This guy got catfished, plain and simple, and whoever was spreading the rumor that she was 13 years old was outright lying. I also think that he probably deserves to be criticized for speaking to this girl whilst knowing that she was 16 years of age. But is it irredeemable? I would say no.
This controversy raised some eyebrows, not enough to cancel him or anything else, but this was enough to label him as a sketchy one, someone who could be considered a snake perhaps, ready to blow up certain situation for his benefit. Because you saw how long this video is, you can probably assume that there are much more stuff we will touch upon, and you're completely right.
Now I just wanted to run a quick poll, so here are the results. Oh, that's an overwhelming response. Now you may be wondering, how much did you pick up your Minion Advent Calendar for? Because I want to get one as well. This was $5 well worked for US dollars. And it's got a word search on the back. Ah, found one. Scammer.
Alex would also criticize a creator known as Zoella, a popular British YouTuber and influencer. He was started to criticize her because her involvement into controversies, especially regarding an overpriced advent calendar.
I'm gonna go over and look at the Zoella YouTube channel. Zoella recently has been caught in some massive controversy, as it has basically been exposed that Boots was selling an advent calendar for 50 fucking quid. That was really underwhelming. That's on average £2 per door. What? What do you mean there's only 12 doors?
This calendar sparked a backlash due to its lack of value for the price charged, leading that he even accused Zoella for exploiting her young audience. And by the way, at the time, Alex was selling t-shirts with his cool, unique style for $30 a piece.
This is what a real lord looks like. Go to ImAllexx.fanfiber.com and use Alex20 for 20% off. If you're a real lord, support the cause.
So yeah, additionally, Alex would also mention Zoella's past tweets where she allegedly made remarks about individuals who could not afford certain items, but it was more about him misinterpreting the tweet than anything else.
Fans keep on saying, oh, but she's different. These are old tweets. She was still well off then. She still scams her fans now. Where's the change? You know it's bad when even Poundland decide to take the mick out of your advent calendar. Now this is why I have a huge problem with the British vlogging scene.
He would even further fuel this criticism against her. In response to this criticism, Zoella issued public apologies attempting to address the negative perceptions and mitigate the fallout from this incident.
The calendar price. The calendar is something I've worked on for a year. I love the product. I am all about the creativity. I'm all about getting it from a design to a product. Where my input ends is there. Once that product is done and I'm happy with it, the retailer can decide how much they sell that for. That's completely...
However, the controversy shed some light on the border issue within the influencer community regarding ethical responsibilities, but I think that Alex was the wrong person to call her out. June 2019 marks the next bigger controversy. Meet Slazo. He is an Australian YouTuber known for his commentary and reaction videos on various internet trends and memes. He gained popularity in the mid-2010s for his humorous takes on storytime videos, amassing a quite large audience.
Shows that these people just missed every point that Rick and Morty drives home. Let's just thank our lucky stars that there is no Pickle Rick.
I'm Pickle Rick!
In 2019, he faced serious allegations of emotional abuse from his ex-girlfriend, which divided the YouTube community and impacted his career. But can you guess who is one of Slazo's friends? Well, none other than ImAllexx. Well, Alex would immediately jump on the train wagon and try to play the White Knight and defend Slazo's girlfriend.
Some of the screenshots that were used in Chase Twit Longer were jokes. I was very much aware of that, but I never had an issue with that, and I want to make that clear. Stupid jokes are stupid jokes. I don't think that's the problem. My problem with Michael was him admitting to doing things that he knew Che may not have wanted to do and being incredibly forceful and almost demanding, which he admitted to doing in his video, which for me is still disgusting. I don't believe he's innocent. I don't think he's innocent at all. Che may not also be innocent and may have hid stuff and used jokes to try and maybe push a certain agenda, but at the same time the stuff that Michael admitted to is stuff that makes me not want to be friends with somebody who is capable of doing those things, even the things he admitted to.
On June 10, 2019, Slazo's ex-girlfriend, Che, made a post explaining that she had a relationship with Slazo, mostly going on about the relationship, how toxic it was, and that Slazo was emotionally and sexually abusive. YouTubers like ImAllexx, King Ani and Wes came out in the support of Kay. However, when Slazo showed his evidence that Che's allegations were a lie, ImAllexx and the others still sided with Che.
Michael, on our first date, touched me in a cinema, despite me never kissing someone before. I assumed this was normal, although I was uncomfortable by it and let it happen. And this confused me when I read it at first, because it's not really how it happened. It's true that we did meet on our first date, and we did go to the cinema. That much is true. We went to the cinema, we had our first kiss, our teeth hit each other's, neither of us knew what we were doing, and I was willing to call it quits there, when she pulls my hand down and says to touch her, which is a pretty long way from how she portrays it in her version of this story. In fact, she was actually the one who brought up the entire idea of doing anything in the cinema. It was her idea, and I had no reason to believe she wasn't as in on this as I was. So, she also mentions me taking off her bra while she's crying. Firstly, I would never do this. If I ever suspected that she didn't want any advance I was making, I would stop. And also, the way she talks about it in the messages from the time gives the impression that I wasn't even intentionally trying to take off her bra, which I wasn't, so.
And made various tweets defending Che and claiming Slazo was manipulative. This was like a back and forth between all of them. But in the end, Alex made an apology about all the things he said, but the way the apology was formed, there was no clear "I'm sorry", so I don't know if this counts or not.
For this apology video. But you can't call it an apology video. It is a non-apology. You spent your time telling these people that I'm sorry, but I'm not really sorry.
Exactly.
Further leaked DMs obtained and published by YouTuber Turkey Tom indicate that some YouTubers conspired against Slazo to remove him from the commentary community. Their motives are still currently unknown. Slazo himself stated he was currently taking a break from YouTube in order to tend to his own mental health, and he also started to see a professional. Like every drama we addressed, they are much more deeper than just a few sentences I said, but I just want to give you a general idea of who Alex is before we dive into the main point of this video, and that's the latest drama about him, which is quite serious in my opinion.
One of the things people get confused by is like, I thought it was a big conspiracy theory.
Right.
Like we all got together privately and we're like, we're gonna ruin his life. Not what happened. If your friend allegedly, or God knows anymore, I don't even know at this point.
Yeah.
Gets sexual.
Because Slazo was
he'd been accused by his ex-girlfriend of sexual
right.
Her on multiple occasions when she didn't want it, or something along the lines of that.
Mm-hmm.
And she supplied some messages along with it.
Right.
Yeah, we all got told.
Mm.
Now everybody, for some reason, it's one of the things that confuses me. Everybody goes, "Well, they were talking about it privately before." Well, yeah, our friend was accused. So we all kind of got together as friends and spoke about it.
Yeah.
We discussed it in detail.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do.
I'm sorry for getting emotional. I'm just really angry at myself. Because you were the best. and I was there. Oh God.
So where is Alex and what is he up to nowadays? Well, his most recent videos are about Jojo Siwa. Jojo is a well-known American singer, dancer, actress and YouTube personality who gained popularity initially through her appearances on the reality TV show Dance Moms. I mean, I never heard about her and I don't care so much. Alex apparently does because he made 2 quite long videos about her. She gained a massive following on social media platforms, but in recent years Jojo has undergone a public transformation as she navigates to her teenage years, including a more mature image and career direction. This evolution has sparked decisions and controversies surrounding her new image, and you know who will touch upon this. None other than Alex, of course, where he would comment and scrutinize Jojo's involvement with controversies, including her association with problematic figures like Coley Bellinger, Shane Dawson and James Charles, who have faced allegations ranging from inappropriate behavior to exploitation. He would further critique Jojo's handling of fame and influence, question her maturity. Now, as we address maturity, we can finally address Alex's behavior, as it isn't mature at all. It's borderline disgusting, well to say, but let's dive into probably the most interesting part of this video.
I think the worst part is that about 2 months ago, I for the first time in a year, I felt like I was truly happy. And that I had it all working out, and that I had it all sorted, and then I come back here and within the first week, everything has just been... It's like a train just running through me, just like... And it's not just to make excuses, it's just that...
Overall, I think this provided a very good look at who Alex is and what his persona is like. Well, to be honest, yes and no. You will see now something that completely shocked the public in the last few weeks. But this is quite a rabbit hole and this video was leading us to this part. On June 15 this year, a user named by Alice Hayes made a tweet. Here is my statement on the situation. I've been scared to speak out on. It's best it was made public how horrible this person with a platform is. I'd hate to see another woman go through this. First, please read the statement first before continuing. Now I'm going to play a very disturbing clip for him, which you probably already saw in the beginning.
Sorry first.
So I'm a fucking whore mouth bitch retard cunt.
Is it generally because you're just brain dead?
Yeah, I'm very brain dead, yeah.
Is that why you decided to go on the offensive instead of the maybe? I don't know what to call what you did. It was weird. It's always weird. You always take the weird route. Just do the normal route, which is just do the normal route, but a normal girlfriend.
You're acting like this is all just me, and that's something you really need to fix.
I'm gonna bash your head against the wall with a brick if you don't shut the fuck up. Because this one, genuinely, this one, you fucked this, royally fucked this.
I mean, this is complete unhinged behavior that doesn't really need any explanation. I mean, smashing someone's head with a brick can be definitely considered as a death threat at least. Now, I'm not quite sure if you know, but he was not talking to some random troll who is making his life a living hell, but rather he was talking to his girlfriend.
You think you can just ignore them because like, well, what's the worst that can happen? I don't know. Your boyfriend's a famous internet celebrity and doesn't trust these people because he has to keep his circle small, because you might not have anything to lose, because your life might be down the drain, but I still have quite a lot that I would like to give. You're making it incredibly hard for me, just like Lewis did.
His behavior and pride is quite unhinged. Alex was just few weeks ago over 2 million subs and he's dropping pretty fast. According to Social Blade, he lost over 120,000 subs in 30 days, and I think this is only the beginning. This is the start of the end. He's a very conceited person who points out he's an internet celebrity and that people like him have much to lose. But she's just trash according to him.
I think I may have said like 100 times to the point where it's actually really hard to follow what I'm saying because it's so flexible. I've gone, you could do this, but you might be able to do that, but you might be able to do that, and you might be able to do this, and this might work, but you might be able to do that. And it sounds mental. I don't even understand how you could possibly actually follow along to it. Like most of my friends struggle to actually understand what I'm saying. But that's why I'm a professional and you're all not.
Calling yourself a professional because you make YouTube commentary and reaction videos is a bit over the top. Yes, there are channels on this platform who actually teach people how to program, or people who make various tutorial videos about other stuff. Some of them are professionals in their field and are sharing the knowledge on the platform. But not you. But maybe I'm completely wrong. Perhaps you're curious why he even threatened her to smash her head. So let's go further into this pipeline of information.
Over what? I don't understand. It's not like you've got anything to be stuck up over. But for some reason something isn't good enough for you. You get to all day. It's like, and then you look like a miserable little all the time. Like your face is annoying to look at, like when I come downstairs. I don't like looking at you, which is why I sleep downstairs. So I don't want to have to go upstairs and, oh, you're taking all the covers. It's like, woman just like ask me to buy another one or stop complaining. Like nothing. The thing is, it annoys me. Nothing needs to be an argument because everything is fixable. Buy a new duvet. I sleep downstairs. But no, you've always got to act like none of this stuff because you don't actually try and fix any of your problems. Like it's infuriating.
Stealing blankets seems like a part of being in a relationship. It's concerning how she constantly expresses her misery, which seems to be related to him resembling an overgrown child. Someone would believe she would eventually leave him, and you're completely right, normal people would. But the problem was that Alex would then start to message her, telling how much he needs her and so on. The true reason was probably that he knew she would attempt to distance herself from him. So she was caught in a quite toxic relationship, from which it's very hard to get out. But Alex would then start to message her, telling her how much he needs her. The true reason was probably he knew she would try to cancel him. There is a long conversation between them, during which they discuss this whole situation. And I also want to play you some snippets of this conversation.
Important is that I didn't listen to you. You were right. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. I was impossible to work with. I didn't make it easy. Blow hot and cold. You've seen me. I'm apologising 1 minute, shouting the next. Angry 1 minute, please come here, hold me. You know. It's like, I just feel like I've been really battling through this.
He would even later admit this was all his fault, as he was jealous.
Like it was me. And anything that I said before in any argument, I have looked back at all of them. I went back and read them. I read old iMessages from us from the beginning of the last year. I could see how I caused everything. Jealous about you playing games with your friends because I wanted you to dedicate your life to me.
Again, these are all signs of somebody who definitely acts a bit immature in a lot of ways, not able to control his temper and sudden mood changes, combined with the violence. And he would often use this anger to make her do things, simply because he can't control his emotions.
Still being vicious and lashing out at you and being angry. But I was like using it as like an excuse to do it, being like, look, I might do it. It was blackmail. Like, I was being like, you should call me, because if you don't call me, you're gonna lose the apology. I'm gonna be all angry, and it's because I couldn't control my emotions.
In the call, he would also start to cry and saying how happy he was with her. I mean, he called her the N-word and he wanted to smash her head with a brick. Is this something that normal people do?
It's not you. It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. Like, you're not responsible for this. You're not responsible for what happened. You tried your best. It's nothing to do with you. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's not because you're lesser or because you have issues. It's not because of that. Like, you were fine. It's not because you... It's not because of you. Just remember moments with you where I was my happiest and You know, sat in your bedroom. Just me and you, just lying there together. And, you know, it should have been that all the time.
He also was angry when she said that he has bipolar. And I also think he wanna push his blame on other things, but what do you think?
And I was mean. I read that text the other day, and I'm so angry. Like, why was I like that to you? I did apologise back then, but I didn't change any behaviour. Like, I saw you say that, and I thought, oh, that's an excuse for why she doesn't text me. That's an excuse for why she doesn't want to talk to me, because I was down your throat. And in reality, you were just trying to say it's not my fault and I'm doing my best. But instead I thought you were using it because I'm so convinced myself that like, you were out of my league and that I didn't deserve you. And also that I was going to get up.
Almost at the end of the call, he would start saying how wrong he was. That in the end, it wasn't her fault. Again, it's a very long phone call with many things said. The whole thing is online and you can look it up yourself if you want a deeper dive. But there is more stuff to be revealed on this Google Drive. And yes, we are going into the 82-page document, and also a trigger warning because the things we are going to discuss can be a bit too much for some people.
I could already feel the ground trembling, shaking, you know.
As Alex is completely unhinged, I would say even batshit crazy, I don't know what to say else. It's really sad to see how he tries to manipulate this girl, and she even stated this at the beginning of this Google document. This is a sensitive subject for me, as I have struggled to figure out how to put this in words. I have been threatened by Alex to not come out with anything at all and to keep quiet, or he will create a contradicting story to discredit my own, but I'm not scared anymore. No matter what I said in response to this statement, I know I said my piece and I can move on with my life. I made this document as a compilation of my experiences whilst being with Alex and have to put screenshots of these accounts under the corresponding paragraphs. This will be a long one, as I want to start from the beginning so you can understand the full story and heavy burden this has been to me. We have known of each other for years before we interacted, and were seeing each other for a few months before anything was official. We started officially dating on March 17, 2023, giving each other 100% of our attention, time and effort with no arguments. After that, time passed and small things became huge issues which were over discussed first. Alex felt that because I'm home all day and work from home, that I will be available to call 24/7 and completely shut out any other social interactions I have with my friends. To avoid that, I invited him into my groups and stopped working as much. These small arguments worsened to the point where he would turn up his camera and start shouting at me on call. He's gone as far to tell me to self-harm at this point after I told him about my history prior. This would be accompanied with multiple horrible messages calling me a whore and bitch and slut. He would also tell me I caused arguments as an excuse for me to leave him, saying, I don't know how I ended up with someone like you. As you see from the beginning, this will get very bad. And I don't know, is there any way that Alex can make this right? At least from a career standpoint. The harm and trauma he caused the girl will definitely stay for a while, and I feel sorry for that. But let's dive into more text. First, he would often try to control her, as we have already previously seen. He would try to manipulate her and trying to distance her from her friends, and saying how her friends doesn't want him around. Jeez, I wonder why. Probably because he's a real brick breaker. Party breaker, sorry. Besides non-stop spamming her, he would also call her names, as we previously established. He definitely has no respect for this girl. I mean, he's literally trying to tell her that he hates her guts.
Over what? I don't understand. You ain't got anything stuck up over. But for some reason something isn't good enough for you. You get to do whatever you all day. It's like, and then you look like a fucking miserable little cunt all the time. Like, your face is annoying to look at, like when I come downstairs.
It is definitely a vicious and toxic cycle that is very hard to escape. Why was Alice with him this whole time? Well, she was also a bit depressed, but also on the other side, Alex was continuously apologizing for the stuff he was doing, and she was thinking this will be better after this fight.
I'm gonna leave this here. I don't know what you'll have to say, and I understand. Really, whatever happens, like I'm not gonna hold anything against you. Like it's not your fault.
He definitely didn't help her, but in actuality, he made it even worse. And he would even say to her she was too much work for him. Or sometimes he would say things like this. Alex would tell me he meant it when he said these horrible things to me, but would tell me he didn't mean it after he calmed down. He told me to shut up and kill himself. After I told him it was a dream of mine to expand into the other platforms. He has called me the N-word after I said sorry about these situations, and I said sorry for telling him my goals and dreams, and he belittled them all, trying to take control of what I wanted to do. When I got sad, he got angry. You could have listened to a master plan for free, he said. Just the right thing to say someone who is already the Alex has definitely a troubled history online, calling people out, judging people, even making false accusations. Sadly, this is not the end of the story, as we have one more screenshot. Eventually he tells me I deserve better and gets all sorry for himself after he realizes I'm actually not coming back. He sends me an apology and owns up everything he's ever done to me in voice notes and videos, crying while he's still begging me for a phone call so he can talk or move on. I don't and won't ever want to give him that. After I explained him how he was abusive, he claimed that I was abusive too, to try can spark a reaction, as afterwards he said I'm joking, and I don't mean like it. You didn't wrong me like I did you, I know that. He continuously begs me to call him so he can apologize and wanted me to forgive him. He ended up sending things to my house like teddy bears and flowers, his hoodie that can be sprayed heavily with his aftershave, and letter to try and achieve this. He mentions, I wish you had broken up with me, to my face. I did, when I walked out the door with my things after he kicked me. Yes, this screenshot has provided us the proof that Alex actually raised his hand on Alice. But again, we can't trust just this one screenshot, and we need more evidence to see if this was really real. This shows what type of a man Alex is, if this is actually true. I know there are situations where your girlfriend or boyfriend can make you angry and mad and things can get heat up, but nothing justifies this in any way. At the end, this is just sad. Obviously, Alice needed someone who wanted to take care of her, and Alex was completely the wrong person. She needs care and attention, and definitely after this. But I think Alex needs also to speak to a professional. This will get only worse as the years go by. If he already started with kicking, we can predict what he will do in the future. If he raised his hand on a girl once, he will probably do it again. Alice left and started to ignore him, but after this, Alex would continually text her and saying how sorry he was. This includes sending her messages, voice messages, photos, the full package you can say. Now, is the reason why is he apologizing because he's afraid that all those things would get leaked eventually? Probably. He's worried because of his selfish ass. And after a few weeks, we still haven't got a response from him. This is Alex in a nutshell. So after all of this, tell me what you think about Alex. If you want to see more videos like this, feel free to check out my channel, subscribe to see more stuff like this, and like the video if you find it informative. I've been Snorky, and until the next deep dive, stay safe.